Guys, I think right now skill builds are kinda OP. If you're gonna use perfect kinetic momentum with new exotic backpack, the results can be nasty. You will get a lot of weapon damage from the backpack and survivability, perfect kinetic momentum, shit ton of skill damage, and on top of that, capacitor works really well with new exotic backpack. So look at this, look at that! Whole wave was dismantled with skills only on legendary difficulty. Oh my goodness, this is really strong build, and skills actually will receive damage buff with new global event where you are sitting behind the cover and you are getting a lot of damage. Honestly, I think this also would be perfect fit for perfect Overwatch talent. Maybe it is introduced to the game this mini season, but personally I haven't found perfect Overwatch. But kinetic momentum is still one of the best skill build talents you can run. Glass cannon, kinetic momentum, and Overwatch. Overwatch is really nice because it. But before we continue, quick word from today's sponsor, Sky Coach. They can offer a crazy amount of boost in any game, Division 2, Destiny, you name it. The best part about this service that they will follow your game rules. When to get your wanted item and how to get your wanted item is fully up to you, but by using my promo code RBDIF you will receive 10% discount on absolutely all services. These guys are trusted worldwide, they have tons of customer reviews, you can check everything by yourself, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate, drop your comment down below in comment section or contact the operator, and the rest will be the history. But now let's get back to this build, and like I said, we have like three main options, at least we used to have. We had Overwatch, which was really nice in solo and team runs, but you are kinda stuck behind the cover. But like I said, this season would be perfect fit to introduce perfect Overwatch talent, where we are sitting behind the cover and getting more skill damage and weapon damage. Next thing, glass cannon, but the trade-off is kinda shitty. You would receive a lot of incoming damage. And kinetic momentum. Kinetic momentum is really good if you are using two different type of skills, like assault turret. I think it's kind of mandatory to use assault turret. And second skill can be fixer drone, healing hive, even chem launcher, which would heal you. Two DPS skills is nice, it will work, but I think kinetic momentum shines with two different type of skills. One which is some sort of healing, even artificial hive would work in this scenario, but I have solved all the issues, solved all the issues my TT squeezer in this setup: survivability, DPS, everything in one setup. So for specialization, since I have 6 skill tiers already, I'm running gunner specialization. I don't need technician specialization. I rather have increased rate of fire on kill and armor back on kill, which will work with skill kills, then additional skill damage and maybe weapon damage if I will re-roll for attribute on my build for weapon damage. So gunner specialization for me works really well in this setup. For the guns I'm using capacitor. Capacitor will give us 60% additional skill damage when stacked, and each skill tier 7.5% additional weapon damage. Second weapon for me is Lexington, but you can use whatever gun you want actually. For the pistol, quick step pistol for increased movement speed. In terms of the gear, I'm using a Wyvern with perfect kinetic momentum, and again, perfect fit Wyvern will boost skill damage, and perfect kinetic momentum is really good. And the main second tier attribute on this build should be obviously skill damage, but second role can be armor regen or hazard protection for increased survivability. I would, I guess, prefer armor regen over hazard protection, but you choose, that's your call. So that's my thoughts. I'm using skill damage and armor regen, and that works and synergizes really well as well with memento backpack. For example, if you don't have new exotic backpack, then simply replace in this build new exotic backpack with memento backpack. Memento backpack will work really well in this setup as well. So for the mask, I'm using actually a couple options. You have Empress International and Hanna Yu. So if you have 3 good pieces from Empress International set, you can use 3 pieces. I'm using 2 Hanna Yu pieces and 1 Empress International piece. For chess piece, like we mentioned before, we're gonna rock perfect kinetic momentum, which is awesome addition to the game, and to anyone who is running skill builds, that's must have. For holster, I'm using Picarus named holster, which will give me additional 10% weapon damage skill tier. Again, really good in hybrid builds. With capacitor, we are getting weapon damage from skill tier itself and as minor attribute. In mod slots, I am using protection from elite mods. I'm reaching almost 40% protection from elites. That's really good. Like I said, throwing them makes new exotic backpack, which will add additional protection, I guess, or defense. Also, don't forget armor on kill from gunner specialization, and we are ready to destroy anyone and anybody. And I had a lot of fun with this setup, but like I said, you can use instead of 2 pieces from Hanna Yu, which will give me skill haste and skill damage. You can run obviously 3 pieces from Empress International set, which will give you skill efficiency, skill damage, really good buffs. Like I said, for minor attributes, you should look for skill damage and armor regen. If you can't find armor regen, hazard protection will work just fine. Skills, drone and turret. Bye.